going to have a quick look at the proposed Kingsway solar farm, which is going to cover all this land, and it's going to come up here and it's going to cover all this land, and yeah, it's basically the size of Heathrow, and it's going to be there forever if they build it. So let's go and have a look at it. I've plumbed this in. I made a little loop and put it into the Garmin, and so we can go and cherish a little bit of England's garden. What we're doing, we're going to have a look at the countryside before they turn it into a solar farm. I hope you hear me. So this is Fox Road. This is where 750 trucks a day, thanks man, sensible outside line, 750 trucks a day they reckon are going to be coming up and down here, or wherever they go, for 4 years to install this pretty much permanent structure. Essentially, everything you can see from here to the horizon is going to be covered in photovoltaic sheets. And I guess there's a few arguments for and a few against. We've got wind turbines. I quite like them, but I've only been living here 2 years, so they've always been there. Our ancestors cleared this forest with stone axes hundreds of thousands of years ago. There's some lapwings flying over there along the hedge line. So some birds are making a habitat in these tiny little hedges. They're tiny. What we've left for nature to inhabit is ridiculous, really. Yep, it's VJ Day today. So the people who made my crash helmet were crushed beneath our boot. Like the rest of the world. You know, the chicken is coming home to roost, basically. They say this is the biggest land grab since the Enclosures Act. Well, I don't know. I think Queen Victoria's painting 2/3 of the world pink was pretty big. And the theory I'm developing is that the empire builders took Cambridge science with them and Oxford religion. So it's a varsity paradigm that the world is living under, because it came from here. This idea that science is right and God is right. People have been living quite happily without either of those things for hundreds of thousands of years. And we went over there and we took it all, essentially. That's why I'm sat here on an Italian bike with a Japanese helmet, a Chinese GoPro, a sat nav. You know, we won. We got it all, kids. We got everything. And now, since the pandemic, the corporations have just outstripped the governments tenfold. So of course Ed Miliband is in the pocket of some cartel of foreign investors who, they don't need the the 600 million it's going to cost to build this place, Rishi Sunak can single-handedly pay for that and be left with 1,000 million, whatever that is. No, 10. If he's got 600, he'd be left with 100 million. Sorry. Okay. If he's got 700 million, it costs 600 million. You do the math. Anyway, yeah, you were right, Al. Lovely day for a bike ride. Al's just found the only juniper bush in all of East Anglia and bought me some juniper berries, which he says are rather delightful on a steak. So I put half of them in the gooseberry gin and half of them Cat can do something with. So all of this, I just neglected to mention, just back there, is where the first pylon is going to go in for a 14-kilometre run, heading straight up here, due north, to carry all this surplus electricity. And the lithium batteries, I don't know. Anyway, so people love this bit of countryside as a resource. They like to come down here and enjoy it on their push bikes, walking, come out in the cars. They love it. I like a motorbike this year. Next year it'll probably be something else. I'm a hobbyist, right? So that's why I'm riding around here on my motorbike, because this is what I enjoy. Now, if you don't enjoy this, then get on your horse and make a video, or get on your push bike and make a video. All I'm trying to do really is start a conversation, and it could be an argument. If you come for an argument, is that an Aston Martin? Are all these your guitars? I think that was an Aston Martin. Having it large in southeast England. So yeah, I'm following the route that I plugged into the sat-nav, which takes us round broadly speaking, takes us round the solar farm. So all of this land, obviously, we're not going to pull the houses down, but it is under a compulsory purchase order. Once the landowners have signed on the lease order, then whatever they're called, Rudwell, what are they called? Kingsway, for God's sake, Arndale Centre. They'll turn up with a compulsory purchase order, and the leaves are falling from the trees, and they'll buy the land. So this 2 million that the farmer thinks he's getting every year will probably turn out to be 2 million, and that's the end of it. They'll turn the tap on. Because they want to make lots of money, and they control the government. And whoa, thanks man, take it easy on yourself. Well, my insurance would have loved that. Not sure why that happened. The GoPro is like all these things, it's a learning curve, isn't it? I bet they said that about the first Flint tools. You know, it's a learning curve. Yes, Dad. Was it a son teaching his father, or a father teaching his son? I always like the fact that the Chinese had gunpowder several centuries before us. Like, that is a key element in every GoPro. And there's the farm. Can't remember which of these ruts I like. So everything on our left here is solar farm, and this is the right hand perimeter of it. So we're going say it's an 8-mile figure of 8. Sounds a bit luggy, that, doesn't it? Lug it up the hill. Wrong rut, but here's a couple of these French birds. This is shoot land here, so that's what happens. You've got to make your money where you can make your money, haven't you? That's the thing. Farms are diversifying. You know, and with the government, like the land, they're trying to make the land worth nothing, I guess, so that these guys can just buy it for nothing. That's the argument against putting solar panels on every roof in every new town, because it'll be expensive in every old town, you know, compared to buying some cheap land. And you just know they've set this one up, haven't they? I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all, but you just know that the policies that have been made over the last decade have just lined this up as an own goal, really. What's that? Oh, we're cancelling HS2. Oh, what, have we bought lots of land right up and down the country? Oh, maybe we should build solar farms on it. Well, no, I'll tell you what, we'll buy some more. This is just heaven. Let's have a little look. Hello. Whoop. 3 hours later. I'll never be forgiven if I take these back to the ranch. Anyway, look at the scale of those straw mountains. Beautifully done. I mean, the elevator that got that up there must be quite something. So that's Cambridge in the distance, and there, looking like a lake, there is a solar farm, Great Wilbraham. So they're at it already. Anyway, onwards and upwards. I need some fuel. By the look of it, I've been gadding about, haven't I? So that broadly brings us to the end of our little adventure. These little chucks. Cross-rutted, but that grass was no good. It was no good. You could tell it had it in for me. Come on, mate, take off or something. Take off. So there we go. And I think with that, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Thanks for coming along. It's been real.